Hello and welcome to a new episode of our podcast,
Culture Cuddles, where we talk about experiences of people living and loving abroad.
Yay!
So I think when this episode went live, is going to be literally the last day of the new year or the new year already. So first of all, Happy New Year. And second of all, because it was the new year, it reminded me a lot about families and stuff. So I decided that in this episode, we're going to talk about families.
Families.
Exactly. And more detail, we're going to talk about experience.
Sorry.
We're going to talk about, the in-laws. Experiences of people who having in-law who is not in the same culture like them. Are you excited, honey?
I'm very excited. I'm always excited to talk about my in-laws.
Okay, let's get into it. First introduction, I'm Vietnamese, so my parents are Vietnamese.
I'm German, so my parents are German.
And both of them just only speak either German or Vietnamese from both sides. So it was really hard for communication for us.
Well, to be honest, my parents speak more English than yours.
Yeah, so a little bit, honey. Are you trying to say that my parent is better at language?
No. Like, of course not, because no.
Yeah, but your mom can speak a little bit of English, but it's still quite hard to communicate without German.
Actually, Uyen's mom also speaks way more English than she confesses. Yep. She's always listening to the conversations and afterwards very well knows like what it was about.
She's just super smart, so from the context, she kind of know what's happening. But anyway, it was an interesting experience to have in-laws from completely different culture. Honey, let me ask you the first question. What was your first impression of meeting my parents? I think it was 3 years ago, right? When I bring you to my village to show you to my parents. Were you nervous?
I was very nervous, yeah, because I think that was a little bit different for me in that situation because I already heard tons of, let's call them crazy stories about your parents.
Yeah, my parents are typical Vietnamese parents. I'm not saying that all Vietnamese parents are crazy, but my parents are.
But this is not the trauma dump episode. Yeah. That one is about to come. But we thought for the first week of the new year or the last day of the new year.
Bottom line, we love them still.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I remember that I did that Vietnamese crash course. Where I basically learned how to use the right pronouns in the situation while my pronouns changed pretty fast after meeting them. Because before I used the formal ones and then later I was allowed to use the one for dad and mom, what I find very sweet.
And then when you meet them, do you feel still nervous after that?
Like, I was very scared of your dad a little bit. I think that is something typical when you meet the dad of your future wife for the first time. Mm-hmm. But at the end, he was way more scared of me.
Yep. He was like, Western man in the flesh, in my house, a lot of hair on the face. I don't know what to do. Like, my father never talked to a Westerner before. He doesn't know what to do. So he was super awkward around German boyfriend.
And it was feeling like he was like getting out of my way, trying to hide from me a little bit. And I had that feeling, but then later it got confirmed that it was kind of like that.
My mom is very outgoing, so she just like immediately accept you as the son. But I have never been worried that they will not treating German boyfriend nice because I have 3 older sisters and they all bring their partner home already and my parents treat them super nice, partly because they are nice people, but mainly because they don't want their daughter to get beaten at home. Like literally, that's what my mom told me, which is super sad. But my mom said that she have to treat the son-in-law super nice so that they gonna treat their daughter nice so that they will not mistreat their daughter. She's heartbroken, honestly. It's just from her experience. I mean, obviously, my brother-in-law, they are not in the old times anymore. They're pretty young, so they don't treat women like that anymore. But still, my parents treat the son-in-law crazily nice. They treat them way nicer than they treat us. And at first, because I didn't understand, I was super jealous. I was like, why does brother-in-law have so many cool stuff and good food? Why don't you feed me like this? You never yell at the in-laws, but you yell at me. But now I learned that it's just because they want to make sure their daughter is safe and sound.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's why I know for sure, like, the thing is, not only German boyfriend is still a man and stronger than me, he is a foreigner and I live with him in a foreign country and he is basically my rock, right? So that's why my mom is like, okay, we have to treat him crazily nice so that when Uyen lives in Germany with him, he's gonna treat her nice and things like that.
There is like the little bit of the problem with the mixed culture because sometimes stuff that is nice in the one culture is a little bit weird in the other. Yeah. Like it really took me some time to get used to the being forced to eat more and more and more. And sometimes, I don't know, sometimes you just don't feel. And then always getting forced to eat like something from everything or something while there's something that you really like and you're happily eating it. But at one point, suddenly you should eat something else because, I don't know, you haven't eaten that yet. Or
yeah,
they consider that better.
Yeah, they just consider that the way they show love. So they just want you to eat a lot and be healthy.
But like, I mean, once you keep eating, that is my strategy, actually. Like, find something you really enjoy, find something you really like, and then keep eating and eating and eating. Eat a little bit slow so that you always keep eating. I just get reminded by it because I see, like, the giant jackfruit massacre on the floor behind us. Uyen just bought a giant jackfruit and was slaughtering it on the floor. And on one of our trips, when I first met one of her sisters, like, there was also like a giant jackfruit, and then I was just eating jackfruit all the time and all the time and all the time.
But the thing is, German boyfriend doesn't realize the power he holds, the chokehold he has. Is that like the right sentence? In the family, the power he has in the family. It doesn't matter what he do. If he doesn't eat, nobody would, like, they would worry about him, but nobody would be upset. Like, he could just say, guys, I'm eating cereal because it's good for me, and everybody would be happy. Because I told you guys, I have explained already, like, no matter what he do, the whole family will treat him super nice anyway. But when German boyfriend show up in the village, he was super nervous. He tried to do everything correctly, and I was like, you can do whatever you want. You already won, so just chill. And
I spoke my 5 words of Vietnamese, introducing myself. I was the talking dog. Or the rainbow-colored dog. I don't know if there's a...
He named himself that. I didn't call him a talking dog. I named
myself that.
He just keep walking around and said, I was the talking dog of the village.
In German, you say that.
It sounds so weird.
Everyone came to see the talking dog.
Yeah. But yeah, like, when you speak Vietnamese with the villager over there, they were wildly impressed. They couldn't even believe the word was coming out of your mouth.
Uyen's mom was very, very, very sweet because, of course, I make a ton of intonation accidents. And whenever I say a sentence, she would repeat that sentence loud and clear and with the right pronunciation one more time for me, being very, very laughing and nodding, and, so that everyone understands it and at the same time that I feel appreciated.
Yeah. Oh, it was nice. Okay, let's talk about your parents. Do you want to ask any question?
How was it for you? Were you nervous before meeting my parents?
Yeah, because I was raised and prepared for that day since I was 8 years old or something like that. Because whenever I do something bad in the house or like doing bad house chores, my mom always say that your in-laws will be so disappointed in your house chore performance. And then they would send you back to me. And then the whole family would be disappointed and ashamed. So it was funny to actually meet the in-laws that my mom was talking about almost every week. And the in-laws turned out to be crazily chill. I still remember that day I show up. One day after I go to Germany, we go to your parents' apartment. And then I brought like some gift because I was taught that we should bring some gift. Did you bring gift for my parents?
Yeah, of course.
I bought some gift.
What did I bring? Like a hairstyler for your dad and what for your mom?
Medicines?
Medicine. Yeah, tons of medicine. She has sleeping issues.
Yeah.
And then also like some scissors for the garden work.
Yeah, she loves it. It was a big hit. It was a very big gift hit.
The problem was I thought like, okay, she liked that. So I bought like next time a very big scissors to big, like very big tricks. And I don't know, that didn't have the same success.
Anyway, back to the story. So I show up there and your parents didn't bother to like deep clean the house to meet me for the first time, which honestly, for Vietnamese, I was finding it a bit weird. Not because like I want them to deep clean for me, but because in Vietnam, if you see the in-laws for the first time, the day before, the whole family would like basically, paint the whole house again, cleaning, preparing, because it's a big day, right? And your parents is like, come in, your family now. And then they squeezed me in a couch. And then because I don't speak German at that time and they don't speak English, we just look at each other. I gave them the gift. You try to translate some stuff. And then after 20 minutes, we go home. It's super chill.
But I think that was just when you were meeting my mom and my brother anyway, right?
Because I met German boyfriend father on the train the other day, the day before already.
Not the day after. He wasn't at home when you arrived, and then he was coming the next day.
It was so random.
It was Uyen's first day at the university. I brought her to the university, and then later she went home. And on the train home from the university, she randomly met my dad. Yeah. And they saw each other and they recognized each other, although they just knew each other from pictures.
Yeah.
It was very cute.
Anyway.
Suddenly she sent me a selfie of the two of them and I was like, what?
Anyway, they were super chill and they have no expectation for me whatsoever, which is really, really strange at first because since I'm Vietnamese, mostly I just heard story about nightmare parents-in-law because especially as a woman, when you get married to your husband, basically you get married to the whole family and you belong to that family. And normally because they have that kind of power with you, they crush you. They make you clean. They make you work. I mean, if you're lucky, you definitely would find like good people, good parents, in-laws as well. But many of my friends or like family end up with not very good in-laws. So I was really worried. But German boyfriend parents are just super chill. They don't really treat me like a daughter at first, which is also a bit weird because in Vietnam, once you kind of said, okay, I'm going to marry this person, the Vietnamese in-law is going to treat you like their son or daughter. Like my mom would call a German boyfriend her son, and then they treat them like family members. I don't know if they actually feel like that at first, but that's how the custom it is. But if over here, they just like, this is my boyfriend's girlfriend.
But your parents also didn't do it like right from the beginning.
Because
after we first met and I met them for the second time, then I was the son.
No, because you were a foreigner. They don't know what to do with them. With you, they were confused and stuff like that. But with all of the other brother-in-law, they show up the first day. And normally my sister only bring the men that they will marry. So they kind of know. So they treat them basically like family member immediately. But anyway, German boyfriend parents, crazily chill. And even until now, they never expect me to cook, to clean. They never tell anything like, oh, you should be like a good wife. You should have kitchen. You have clean the house more often. Take care of my son. They never say anything like that. They also never get involved into our family life whatsoever. They never say anything about the relationship between me and German boyfriend, which is really, really cool. Because I'm really afraid of mother-in-law who is mingling with our relationship and life.
Didn't you even have like that national TV series about the mother-in-law that was like huge hit?
Yep.
And she was like the worst of the worst of the worst.
Yep. But I mean, do you think your parents are the norm over here? Or in Germany, when you have the in-laws, they would have different kind of relationship or some drama as well?
I think that here the parents are getting less involved in the relationship of their kids, at least when they're grown-ups.
Okay.
Yeah, I could imagine that like when they're still teenagers that they get more involved, but like I was never having any worries that they might not approve you or something like that.
Yeah, that's a real thing in Vietnam, Parents can not approve your partner and then that's it. You don't marry them anymore. It sounds crazy if you're from Germany and you said, my mom don't like my girlfriend. So what? You have to learn how to like my girlfriend. Because if she doesn't like my girlfriend and I marry my girlfriend, she's going to lose a son. And she's not that stupid. I'm not calling German boyfriend mom stupid. I'm saying in general, you shouldn't be that stupid.
Yeah, I mean, my mom is not that stupid because she didn't do that.
Exactly. But like in Vietnam, it works because the whole family would put pressure on you, and then you have to choose either you have this man or you have the family to back you up. And normally you choose the family.
This is kind of what I also meant in the beginning when I said, like, I heard stories. Because, like, one of her friends actually brought a partner home, and then the father said, like, get the F out of my house.
Yep. And you know why? The reason why? It's because he lived like 200 kilometers away from their house. That was too far. The rule was marrying someone in the 50-kilometer radius so you can be near to the parents' house. She dared to marry 200 kilometers, so he got kicked out.
And I'm the 8,500 kilometers.
Exactly. But anyway, do you know that they end up still getting married?
Really?
She got pregnant.
Yay! Happy end.
So they were like, no other choice. I'm pregnant now. So
pregnancy is a game changer.
Yeah. But with your case, it's first of all, that's why I think I told you guys already. I didn't tell my parents about German boyfriend for 3 years because of that, because I know for sure they wouldn't approve this, and I don't know how to deal with them, so I just don't let them know. And then when
also your parents kind of encouraged it. They said just bring the guy home when it's super clear and serious.
Right. And then when I said I want to go to German boyfriend to live with this German man that they don't know, it was too late for them to start because I already have to apply for the school. I have the money. I was about to buy the flight tickets and I'm going to study. They like people who study. So they have to approve. And then after that, I lived with German boyfriend for 2 years after I bring him home. And at that point in Vietnam, it's called the boat is already sailed or something. The boat is already finished making. My reputation has been tainted as a woman who lived with a man and not marry him for 2 years. So now if I don't marry to him, now I'm going to be ashamed for the family. So they did everything they could to make sure we get married.
I heard that now there's a conspiracy in the village. Like some people think that I don't exist or don't exist anymore because Uyen is still not pregnant.
Oh God, every time I go home, everybody is asking about it. Yeah, but anyway, one more thing that is very different in Vietnam is that after you get married, not normally, but it's quite often that you would move into your husband's house and then live with the in-laws as well. And that would be my nightmare. I would never do that. Even when I was in Vietnam, I know for sure that I never want to live with the in-laws. That's why I was very glad that I end up with German boyfriend, because there's no way you let me live with your parents after we get married, right?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, like when you're grown up and you found a partner, then you should just start your own.
I cannot imagine how does it feel like to have a life like this and then have your parents in another room, honey. Like if one day I have a fight with you and then your parents is here to witness that, which side will they be on? And then would they get involved? And then would that escalated? I just cannot imagine sharing a house with like the in-laws. It just gonna complicate things so much. But it's the reality for my sister for 10 years, my other sister as well. And my other sister, oh my God, they all do that now.
I also have kind of a theory about that. Because like after marrying, usually in Vietnam, you start your own family, you give birth to kids, and then you need the help of the in-laws for taking care about the kids, or at least, I don't know, like it's custom in your culture.
It's actually a beautiful thing, but also quite complicated because you have basically 3 nannies and the nanny loves the kid because the nanny is the grandparents, right? But at the same time, it's also very complicated to live there with the in-laws and stuff like that. But you don't have much choice, honestly. So
I also find it a little bit unfair, like towards the in-laws.
Completely.
I mean, it's one thing when you move in with them, okay, then you don't bother them like too much. But like when you live somewhere else and then you expect them to come and be your free nanny.
Yeah, but the grandparents in Vietnam, many of them were kind of programmed that their life purpose is for their child and for the grandchild. So they raise the child. Yeah, they sacrifice their life for the child, and now the child have kids. So their life purpose is helping them raising the kid. And if it make them happy, what can we do? So honey, you have seen family life in Vietnam. You live with my family for a while. How does it feel compared to a family life in Germany? Is it different? Is it the same?
I would say it's very different. Like Vietnamese family members are way more devoted to the family. No matter what happened there or how someone treat you, like they're still family. Like sometimes an uncle of Uyen, for example, is rude to her, and then she is not fine with that, but her mom still expects him to be treated completely normal and as if nothing ever happened.
So good that uncle doesn't speak English. So he's not gonna listen to this podcast.
But yeah, like in Western countries, I think that is way different. Like if there's someone that you really don't like from your family, then yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like the life in Vietnam, it's revolve around family a lot. Like I feel
it's your security. Like, security net.
Also, many of your activity is with your family. You do a lot of things for your family, and a big chunk of your time is with your family.
Yeah, that's something else I wanted to say. Like, it's also way more, a closer. Like, you're definitely calling with your family way more often than I do, for example. Yep. Sometimes even although you don't have anything to say to each other, then you're being there with the phone, being like, yeah. And but it's cute.
Is that how we sound? Like
sometimes this is exactly how you sound. Like when you don't know what to say anymore, then you make those filling noises on both sides.
Okay,
but like they have. I mean, there's a new strategy that is pretty working very well. Like when they don't know what to do anymore, like the sister is just holding the baby in the camera and
now
let the baby talk.
Now the baby can hold the camera, so they just hold the camera to the baby. So the baby hold the phone, and then I just stare at the baby for like 2 minutes or 2 hours, and the baby just breathing heavily on the phone or eating and then dirty his whole face. But it was fun still. Yeah,
more entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's
like,
true.
Those are very, very big differences, actually.
Like for me in Germany, it was really hard for me at first because at first I didn't understand the family dynamic in Germany, like German boyfriend's family dynamic in specific, because for me it is way colder than what I experienced in Vietnam. They're basically friends with each other. They are not like his mom will not walking around him asking, have you eaten yet? Have you showered yet? Yeah, I will do dishes for you. Here's the good food. Eat it. I save you some food. Like she didn't say that. They don't have that kind of conversation, and they spend way less time with each other. When they want to spend time with each other, they would basically book appointment, and then they met to drink tea and do a bit of a chit chat. And basically they go home and live their own way and own life. At first it was really, really strange for me because that is not how I was raised and grow up at all. And I was expecting to see you with your family almost every day of the week, or like I was expecting to see your father just sitting on our couch suddenly, because in Vietnam they would just jump into your house with uninvited and just say, I need some egg, and they get the egg. And then they drink a beer with you.
And then they stay there with the egg.
Exactly. And then they help you cook, or they help you clean or fix something. That's the Vietnamese life. But over here, I wouldn't see your parents, even though they live right across the street, for maybe 2-3 weeks. That is something really, really strange at first. But now I'm getting used to it because I know that the thing is, like, it's difficult to explain in a 30 minutes podcast, but although the way they treat each other is definitely different than in Vietnam, they have a different way of loving each other, and sometimes it's a little bit better as well. But we're going to talk about that in another podcast.
This is the big foreshadowing episode to that podcast. Just something maybe a little bit for explaining, because I think we were just talking about that my parents are living far away, and now Uyen is saying that they live across the street. Like when Uyen came here for the first time, like they were living across the street. Yeah. But then...
And that was beautiful. They have a dryer. We didn't have a dryer. I used their dryer for 1.5 years, and they bring the dryer away with the whole family.
Yeah, but then they moved to Uyen's favorite place, the North Sea. And yeah, now they are pretty far away. We just see each other when we have time.
I'm telling you guys, it took the same time to fly to Vietnam and then going to see his family by public transport now.
Pretty much, actually.
Do you think there is like some misunderstanding or problem of having in-laws that is from different cultural than yours?
Problem is when there's like a language barrier and a cultural barrier, it's a little bit hard. I remember the first time when I was in Uyen's family's house, there was one day where I was just like really suffering from the air because it was super, super humid. And it really made me suffer. I left our room. In the room, there was the air condition. And then I just was outside for 10 minutes and bam, I was completely all over sweaty. It was really, really bothering me. I couldn't drink as fast as I was sweating. And on that day, I was definitely making a bad face. And I'm still German. I'm not used to faking it or something. So you could see that I suffer. But as Uyen's mom couldn't understand why am I suffering, and I couldn't explain it, and she also wouldn't ask, of course, because like you would not ask how someone is feeling or why is he feeling bad or something in Vietnam. No. So that was a big misunderstanding, and at the end, she got angry and uncomfortable.
She was super angry. She was like, "Why he's so angry? Why he's so miserable? What did we do to him?"
Exactly.
She was super.
I also didn't have much appetite on that day because of my conditions. I wasn't eating. On that day, I was really not eating much. And
it is a big taboo in Vietnam to have an angry face and walk around. That's why you see me smiling all the time. In general, I like to smile, but I was trained to smile because if you have a bitchy face, people don't like it over there.
Yeah.
And German boyfriend has a certified bitchy face when he's tired.
But when the camera turns off, Uyen's face goes full way Merkel.
I think for me, the most pity thing about having in-laws from different culture is that since we don't speak the same language, I don't really have a chance to get to know them. Although it's been 5 years and we talk a lot, we try. And my German is okay. I could understand them, but not perfect. So I don't really feel like I know them in a personal level. We try a lot, but I don't really feel like I know them. And I don't think you know my mom because, right? You just see her, she fed you, and basically that's it, right? You don't really know her, who she is, what is her opinion, what is she normally like. So it was sad. But the benefit of it is that I'm just trying to be positive here. I'm just trying to dig through some benefit. Because we don't understand each other that much, I just feel like they basically just leave me be. They don't get in the way of how I live my life. They don't really, like doing in-law drama stuff. They probably won't, but because we can not talk with each other already very well, they basically just let me be. Like, that's my son's girlfriend and that is she, and just let her do whatever she wants. And they just let you do whatever you want because they don't know how to communicate with you. And sometimes it's a good thing as well, don't you think?
I really feel like that is something that really surprised me, actually, because my parents, they were traveling within Europe, but they've never been to Asia, for example. They don't have much contact with people from that distant cultures, I would call it.
Yeah.
And but they were very open for Uyen and for everything that she was doing. Like I remember that it was making Uyen a little suffer in the beginning, like when we were eating with them, we were eating German food. And then later, when they were moving to the North Sea, of course, they were also eating German food and Uyen didn't have any food there. But it was super quick that it turned out that like they had no problem with Uyen cooking something for herself and then eating it with us while we're eating something completely different, not feeling insulted by her not eating it. Like, they are completely fine with that. And they even verbalized that already. Like, we understand that she's from a different culture. She needs different stuff. Sometimes before we're going there to visit them, they were buying like shrimps and rice, even asking in advance which rice they should buy. They suddenly had a rice cooker, basically bought for themselves. But like, I think also because of Uyen. And that was very, very nice.
Yeah, it was nice.
And also, I think that they they cannot communicate or like talk with you so much.
Yeah.
But I think they feel like they're getting to know you just by being with you and experiencing you. And I think we're doing a good job there with actually, like we were on holiday with them. I think we even made a video about that, right?
Yeah.
Being on holiday with the in-laws. And then they're going to other places, experiencing how you are there. So over experiences, you get to know each other as well. And so step by step, experience by experience, you get to know each other better. And by the way, like maybe they didn't in the beginning, but my parents actually called her daughter.
Aww.
Like her favorite daughter. She's like the only daughter, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that was a nice ending for the podcast today. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. And if you like it, please subscribe to our podcast so that you can listen to the next episode when it's dropped. Okay? Good. Have a nice day and we'll see you in the next episode.
And yeah, Happy New Year.
Again? Oh yeah, Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Culture Cuddles is produced by Yilmaz Hummel for Uyen Ninh and her German husband-to-be. This episode was produced by Niklas Stündel and Freak Sitter. To submit your own story for the podcast, go to culturecuddles.com.